China has begun testing a cutting-edge sixth-generation fighter jet capable of operating in space. According to reports, codenamed Buddy or White Emperor, this advanced aircraft is designed as an integrated space air fighter.
China has once again captured the world's attention with a shocking technological update. It now has an advanced fighter jet that looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. China's president seems to be sending a message to the United States and challenging the U.S. position as number one in warfare. The question now is, how will the world respond? Will the U.S. double down on its own military advancements? Will this spark a new arms race in aviation technology? Join us as we look further into what could become the biggest competition in history.
We are in the cockpit of a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon aircraft doing a surveillance flight.
The UFO-shaped fighter jet. At first glance, the design of China's jet is what steals the show. Its disc-like shape, smooth curves, and lack of traditional wings immediately set it apart from anything we've seen in modern aviation. Experts are already speculating about its aerodynamic capabilities, with some suggesting it could possess unparalleled maneuverability and stealth features. But beyond the eye-catching exterior lies a deeper story, one about strategic power, military superiority, and a rapidly shifting global balance. Let's talk about why this reveal matters. For decades, the United States has maintained air dominance with projects like the F-22 Raptor and the F-35 Lightning II. These jets are celebrated for their stealth technology, advanced sensors, and combat readiness. But China's new fighter seems to challenge these benchmarks. If reports are accurate, this aircraft might not only rival but possibly exceed the capabilities of its American counterparts. But why the UFO shape? Aviation engineers have long explored unconventional designs in search of the perfect balance between speed, agility, and radar evasion. The disc-like design, often associated with UFO sightings, isn't just about looking futuristic. It serves practical purposes. A rounded shape can reduce radar cross-section, making the jet harder to detect. It can also enable unconventional flight patterns that traditional winged aircraft simply can't achieve. The global implications of this reveal are enormous. Military analysts are already calling this a game changer. If China truly possesses an aircraft with such advanced capabilities, it could shift the balance of power in the skies. Here's why this matters on a global scale. The balance of military power is delicate, and innovations like this can tip the scales. If this fighter jet delivers on its promises, it could redefine air superiority in conflict zones. Let's not forget the timing. This comes as tensions between the US and China are already high, with disputes over trade, technology, and territorial claims in the South China Sea. By unveiling this advanced fighter jet now, China is sending a clear message. It's ready to compete not just economically, but militarily as well. So what does this mean for the future of military aviation? Are we on the brink of a new era where traditional fighter jets are replaced by these UFO-shaped marvels? Unveiling of new stealth fighter jets and strategic implications? Unveiled at the China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition in Zhuhai,
J35A's public appearance at the China International Aviation and Aerospace Exhibition in Zhuhai represents a major milestone in China.
The J35A is a clear statement of China's ambitions to challenge the US F-35 program. With its sleek design and advanced stealth features, the J35A is a message. Designed for both air superiority and precision ground attacks, this fighter jet is versatile and deadly. Military experts have noted its ability to operate from aircraft carriers, enhancing China's naval air power and giving it a strategic edge in contested waters like the South China Sea. The J35A boasts next-generation avionics and sensor fusion technology, allowing pilots to receive and process real-time battlefield information with pinpoint accuracy. This means faster decision-making and more effective combat performance. Reports also suggest that the jet incorporates advanced radar-absorbing materials, making it harder to detect by enemy surveillance systems. But that's just the beginning. If the J35A is impressive, the Chengdu J36 feels like a glimpse into the future. Developed by the Chengdu Aerospace Corporation, This next-generation fighter jet has sparked global intrigue since it was first observed during a test flight over Chengdu. Its tailless flying wing design hints at sixth-generation fighter jet capabilities, a step beyond anything currently operational in the skies. The absence of a tail reduces radar signature, making the J36 nearly invisible to detection systems. This design also allows for superior aerodynamic efficiency, giving the jet unmatched agility and range. While details about its armament and onboard systems remain classified, analysts believe the J36 could incorporate advanced AI-assisted flight controls and next-level electronic warfare capabilities. What sets the J36 apart is its potential role in unmanned operations. Rumors suggest that this jet could operate in a semi-autonomous mode, allowing pilots to delegate complicated tasks to AI systems. If true, this represents a huge leap forward in military aviation technology. Both the J35A and the J36 demonstrate China's commitment to becoming a leader in aerospace innovation. As the world watches closely, one thing is clear: the skies are no longer an uncontested domain for the United States. But there's still more. There are strategic implications that the unveiling of China's advanced fighter jets have brought globally. These developments signify a direct challenge to the United States' dominance in aerial warfare, primarily represented by the F-35 and F-22 fighters. China's new jets are designed to perform roles traditionally dominated by American aircraft: air superiority, ground attack, and intelligence gathering. But there's more. The Indo-Pacific region is a strategic hotspot where air superiority plays a critical role in maintaining balance. With tensions escalating around Taiwan and ongoing disputes in the South China Sea, China's advanced jets pose a serious threat to U.S. and allied forces stationed in the region. Carrier-based J35A fighters extend China's naval air power deep into contested waters, making it harder for U.S. naval forces to operate freely. The Chengdu J36, on the other hand, could potentially serve as a next-generation deterrent, capable of evading advanced missile defense systems. The strategic significance of these fighter jets becomes even clearer when considering Taiwan. As cross-strait tensions continue to rise, China's ability to project air power with advanced stealth fighters puts Taiwan's defenses under enormous pressure. The technological edge provided by these aircraft might complicate U.S. intervention strategies in the event of a military confrontation over Taiwan. The United States and its allies are unlikely to sit idle in response to these advancements. Increased military spending is almost a certainty, with more focus on developing next-generation aircraft and enhancing anti-stealth radar systems. Programs like the U.S. Next-Generation Air Dominance are likely to receive even more funding and accelerated timelines. Collaborations between allied nations, such as the AUKUS agreement between Australia, the UK, and the US, may also see expanded focus on aerospace technology.
Australia is ushering in a new defence era tonight, with the full details revealed of the most ambitious and big spending deal in our military history.
Joint research initiatives and shared technological advancements could help level the playing field. Beyond direct military responses, these developments could influence alliances and partnerships. Nations in the Indo-Pacific region, such as Japan, South Korea, and India, might feel compelled to bolster their own air force capabilities, either by purchasing advanced Western jets or developing indigenous solutions. Meanwhile, smaller nations might increasingly turn to China for military hardware, further expanding China's sphere of influence. Broader context and historical trends. To understand why the unveiling of China's UFO-shaped fighter jet happened, we need to situate it within a longer story, which is China's decades-long push for military modernization. This isn't an isolated development. It's the latest step in a carefully orchestrated strategy to close the technological gap with the world's most advanced militaries, particularly the United States. Let's take a step back and discover how this all started. Over the last 2 decades, China has undergone one of the most ambitious military transformations in modern history. In 2015, President Xi Jinping launched sweeping reforms to streamline the People's Liberation Army.
China will launch sweeping reforms to its military structure.
prioritizing high-tech innovation and the integration of cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence, cyber capabilities, and stealth aircraft. This shift wasn't just about upgrading hardware, it was about rethinking the very way China approaches modern warfare. China's new fighter jet is the perfect symbol of this broader transformation. It combines advanced engineering with strategic intent, aiming to challenge traditional notions of air superiority. This isn't the first time a technological breakthrough has altered the balance of power. Throughout history, game-changing technologies in warfare have often tilted the scales of global influence. Consider the introduction of the British dreadnought battleship in 1906. This revolutionary warship rendered all previous naval fleets obsolete, forcing rival nations to race to build comparable vessels. The dreadnought changed naval warfare, reshaped alliances, and fueled the naval arms race leading up to World War I. Fast forward to the Cold War. The introduction of stealth technology by the United States in the 1980s, embodied by the B-2 Spirit bomber, marked a seismic shift in military aviation. Stealth aircraft could evade radar detection, giving the U.S. an unparalleled advantage in conflicts like the Gulf War. China's UFO-shaped jet could follow a similar trajectory. Its advanced stealth capabilities and unconventional design signal a potential breakthrough that rivals these historical milestones. If it performs as expected, it could redefine the concept of air dominance, much like the dreadnought and stealth bombers did in their eras. China's journey to this point has been methodical. In the 1990s, the People's Liberation Army relied heavily on outdated Soviet-era equipment. Back then, China's military was seen as large but technologically inferior. That began to change in the early 2000s, as Beijing poured resources into indigenous defense industries. The goal was clear: to reduce dependence on foreign suppliers and create cutting-edge technologies at home. Take the J-20 stealth fighter, for example. Introduced in 2017, it was China's first fifth-generation fighter jet designed to rival the US F-22 and F-35. While the J-20 marked a significant achievement, it also highlighted the challenges China faced, particularly in developing reliable engines for its aircraft. But in recent years, reports suggest that China has overcome many of these hurdles, paving the way for even more advanced designs, like China's UFO-shaped jet that's our main concern in this video. This isn't just about engineering prowess, it's about strategy. China's military planners have studied the successes and failures of other nations.
China is set to be developing what could be the most powerful machine gun in the history of mankind,
learning to avoid mistakes while capitalizing on strengths. For example, the US military's reliance on a limited number of highly expensive platforms, like the F-35, has made its fleet formidable but financially vulnerable. China, by contrast, appears to be exploring ways to produce advanced jets more efficiently, potentially allowing it to field larger numbers at a lower cost. Why does this matter? Because advancements like these don't happen in a vacuum. They ripple across the geopolitical landscape, forcing other nations to respond. For the United States, maintaining air superiority has been a cornerstone of its global military dominance. The introduction of China's UFO-shaped fighter jet directly challenges that dominance, potentially forcing the US to accelerate its own technological developments. This could lead to a new arms race in aviation, similar to the one triggered by the dreadnought battleship over a century ago. The implications extend beyond the United States as well. Regional powers like Japan, India, and Australia are already investing heavily in their own air forces, driven by concerns over China's growing military capabilities. The revealing of this new jet will likely heighten those concerns, prompting further investments in advanced technologies and closer collaboration with allies. But it goes beyond that. There's the global arms market. China has increasingly positioned itself as an alternative to Western suppliers, offering advanced weapons systems to nations in Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. A successful demonstration of this new fighter jet could boost China's defense exports, increasing its influence in regions where the U.S., and its allies have traditionally dominated. President Xi Jinping has emphasized the importance of self-reliance in key industries, particularly in the face of growing tensions with the United States. By developing cutting-edge technologies domestically, China is not only securing its military future, but also signaling to the world that it's a leader in innovation, began to recognize him as one of their own. However, this was just the beginning of his journey. In 1975, Xi received a significant opportunity when he was recommended to attend Tsinghua University, one of China's most prestigious educational institutions. He pursued a degree in chemical engineering, combining academic learning with the practical lessons he had absorbed from his rural experiences, preparing him for leadership in a rapidly modernizing China. Xi Jinping's rise from a humble cave-dwelling background to the pinnacle of power reflects a story of transformation, resilience, and survival. His early years laid a foundation for his leadership style and political philosophy, emphasizing the importance of connecting with the populace and addressing their needs. A new memorial hall has been established in Xi Jinping's ancestral home, dedicated to his father, Xi Zhongxun, a prominent figure in the Communist Party. This initiative is part of a broader effort by the ruling Communist Party to portray Xi as an ordinary guy, especially in a climate where many citizens are frustrated with the privileges enjoyed by their leaders. Xi Jinping, the son of a revolutionary hero, is often viewed as a princeling, a term used to describe the offspring of senior Communist Party officials. Despite this background, the narrative of his early life in Liangjiahe, which was marked by hardship, was the foundation for his image as someone who understands the struggles of ordinary people. This chapter of Xi's life was significant, offering him valuable lessons in hardship and resilience, which would later inform his political ideology. His experiences there are often cited as foundational to his leadership style and vision for China. Early political career. In September 1988, Xi Jinping found himself appointed as the Secretary of Ningde, a remote and underdeveloped region. At the time, Ningde's economy was in bad shape, far worse than the more prosperous cities of Fuzhou and Xiamen. The task ahead of him seemed daunting. So what did Xi do? Instead of being discouraged, he began meticulously organizing his thoughts and experiences, eventually compiling them into a book titled Getting Out of Poverty. This book wasn't just theory. It was born out of Xi's hands-on work in tackling poverty and strengthening the local Communist Party in Ningde. But that was just the beginning. In May 1990, the Chinese Communist Party, Fujian Provincial Committee, had bigger plans for him. Xi was reassigned to Fuzhou, a major city, as the municipal committee secretary. His rise was starting to gain momentum. By 1997, Xi had been named an alternate member of the 15th CCP Central Committee.
By the Communist Party of China revealed highlights of the four-day gathering. President Xi Jinping, also General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee, delivered the party's work on behalf of the committee's political bureau.
But soon after, an even greater opportunity came knocking. In 1999, he was promoted to the role of Vice Governor of Fujian, and just 1 year later, he took the top job as governor. During his time in Fujian, Xi's approach was strategic. He reached out to Taiwan, hoping to attract investment, and pushed for the private sector to thrive. His vision for economic growth was bold, but how far would it take him? The answer came in 2002 when Xi left Fujian for the neighboring province of Zhejiang. This was a major step forward. He was quickly placed in key political roles and eventually rose to the top spot as Zhejiang's party committee secretary, marking his first time holding such a powerful provincial position. Under his leadership, Zhejiang's economy surged, reporting an astonishing 14% growth per year. But Xi wasn't just focused on economic success. He was also gaining a reputation as a no-nonsense anti-corruption crusader. His tough stance against corrupt officials made waves throughout China, catching the attention of the nation's top leadership. From 2004 to 2007, Xi's closest advisor during this time was Li Chang, who acted as his chief of staff, solidifying a strong political bond between the two. But his story didn't stop there. In September 2006, the political landscape shifted once again. The party secretary of Shanghai, Chen Liangyu, was removed from office following a massive corruption scandal involving a social security fund. It was a scandal that rocked the nation, and someone needed to step in and restore order. Enter Xi Jinping. By March 2007, he had been transferred to Shanghai and became the new party secretary. His time in Shanghai was short, only 7 months long, but it was a very crucial 7 months. Xi's strategy in Shanghai was simple: keep a low profile, stay out of controversy, and maintain strict party discipline. He even turned down a special train that Shanghai officials had arranged to shuttle him between Shanghai and Hangzhou, reminding everyone that such privileges were reserved only for national leaders. His dedication to the rules earned him respect, and his approach to party unity was clear. There would be no purges under his watch, despite the scandal that had taken down his predecessor. Xi knew exactly how to toe the party line while keeping his eyes on the bigger picture. So, what did all of this mean for Xi Jinping's future? It was becoming increasingly clear that his disciplined, pragmatic, and corruption-fighting image was gaining him the trust of China's highest leaders. What would come next for the man who quietly but steadily climbed the political ladder? Anti-corruption campaign. Xi Jinping's anti-corruption campaign, initiated shortly after he became General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party in 2012, has had a profound impact on Chinese politics.
Xi Jinping has secured a historic third term as a General Secretary of the party.
Aimed at addressing corruption across all government levels, the campaign targeted both low-ranking officials, referred to as flies, and high-ranking elites, known as tigers.
China's leader Xi Jinping launched an aggressive anti-graft campaign, vowing to crack down on what he called tigers and flies, everyone.
This marked a significant shift toward enhanced party discipline and accountability, enabling Xi to consolidate power and reshape the political landscape of China. One of the campaign's most notable aspects was its stringent measures against luxury and extravagance among officials. Xi implemented strict rules to curb lavish spending and ostentatious displays of wealth, reinforcing a message of humility and frugality within the party. The introduction of the 8-point regulation in 2012 set a clear framework, banning luxury travel, minimizing red carpet treatment, and reducing extravagant ceremonies. The campaign led to the investigation and punishment of tens of thousands of officials, ranging from local bureaucrats to prominent leaders like Zhou Yongkang, a former member of the Politburo Standing Committee.
Zhou Yongkang, he is suspected of serious disciplinary violation. He's the most senior official to be put into investigation.
Many high-profile cases resulted in prison sentences.
Former security chief Zhou Yongkang has been sentenced to life in prison in a secret trial.
And some officials even faced death sentences for severe corruption offenses. This approach not only instilled fear among potential wrongdoers, but also allowed Xi to exert tighter control over the CCP, diminishing the influence of rival factions and consolidating his power further. Xi Jinping's anti-corruption drive has significantly transformed the political landscape in China. The pervasive fear of investigations has fostered a culture of caution among officials, leading to the purging or sidelining of numerous political elites. While the campaign has garnered praise for restoring public confidence in the government and reducing wasteful spending, critics argue that it serves as a tool for Xi to eliminate political rivals, consolidate his authority, and enforce loyalty within the Communist Party. This consolidation of power became particularly evident when Xi removed presidential term limits in 2018, allowing him to extend his leadership indefinitely. Thus, the anti-corruption campaign has had a dual impact. It addresses genuine corruption issues while simultaneously bolstering Xi's control over the party. Xi's economic vision for China emphasizes sustainable and high-quality growth rather than unchecked expansion and misuse of state resources by people in power. His administration is focused on transitioning from a low-cost, export-driven economy to one that prioritizes domestic consumption, technological innovation, and environmental sustainability.
China's state planner says promoting domestic consumption will take on, quote, a more prominent position.
Key initiatives, such as the Belt and Road Initiative and Made in China 2025,
shaky economic recovery. Long-term leaders in Beijing have been working to transform Asia's #1 economy with their Made in China 2025 plan.
Highlight Xi's ambition to enhance China's global economic influence while fostering innovation and mitigating environmental impact. Xi's lifestyle is often showcased as an embodiment of modesty and discipline. State media frequently highlight his frugal habits and rejection of excessive luxury, portraying him as a leader dedicated to China's future rather than personal gain. His adherence to the principles of the anti-corruption campaign, including curbing extravagant behavior, reflects his expectation that the same commitment is upheld by party members, and he leads by example. Let's take a look at what the people think of his frugal and modest character, Xi Jinping's famous modesty. Xi Jinping has often been described as a modest leader in terms of his public persona and work ethic. Those who have interacted with him emphasize his down-to-earth demeanor and pragmatism. For instance, Peng Liyuan, his wife, once remarked that at home, Xi does not present himself as a leader, but as a regular husband, highlighting his humility. This modesty extends to his professional life, as exemplified by his refusal to accept certain privileges, such as when he declined a special train while serving as party secretary in Shanghai, insisting on adhering to party rules. However, Xi's modest public image contrasts sharply with his political stature. As the leader of China, Xi has consolidated considerable power, removing term limits in 2018 and strengthening control over various aspects of governance, which reflects a more authoritarian side. His strict enforcement of party discipline, his far-reaching anti-corruption campaigns, and his emphasis on national pride demonstrate a leader who expects loyalty and commands respect. Thus, while Xi might personally embody modesty, his political leadership is marked by an assertive, centralizing style that wields immense influence. Xi Jinping's frugality extends to the simplicity in his official residence as Chinese president. Zhongnanhai, located adjacent to the Forbidden City in Beijing, serves as the political nerve center for China's top leadership, including Xi Jinping. The complex, though not flashy by modern standards, holds immense historical and political significance. Originally built during the Ming Dynasty, it transitioned to its current role as the headquarters for the Communist Party of China in the 20th century. While the architecture reflects traditional Chinese designs with its gardens, courtyards, and historical buildings, the significance of Zhongnanhai lies not in luxury, but in its strategic importance. It has been the residence and workspace for generations of Chinese leaders. The compound is not open to the public, adding to its air of exclusivity and prestige. Zhongnanhai represents the continuity of centralized power in Chinese history, especially under communist rule. Despite its lack of ostentatious modern luxury, the political and symbolic weight attached to the location is a result of giving up modern luxury for tradition and honoring Chinese culture and history. Its secure and closed-off nature underlines the importance of the people who live and work there, shaping China's governance from behind its walls. Humility in Chinese culture. Xi Jinping's humility is at the very core a result of a long-standing culture of the Chinese, interwoven into the fabric of their society and religious practices like Confucianism and Taoism. The three treasures or three jewels of Taoism are central virtues outlined in the Tao Te Ching, one of the foundational texts of Taoist philosophy. These virtues, which emphasize compassion, simplicity, and humility, reflect the key principles for living in harmony with the Tao, or the Way, the guiding force in Taoism. Although the term three treasures was later used in other contexts, such as Chinese Buddhism and traditional Chinese medicine, in the Taoist tradition, it represents a fundamental approach to life. The first of these treasures is compassion. Compassion is presented as a central virtue in Taoism because it is believed to be the source of true bravery. In Chapter 67 of the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu speaks of compassion as the foundation for courage, suggesting that one who shows compassion has the inner strength to face the world with kindness and empathy. This concept parallels ideas in other Chinese philosophies, such as Confucianism, where humaneness is emphasized as a central ethical principle. Compassion, in this Taoist sense, is not only a personal virtue, but also a means of interacting with others in a way that fosters mutual understanding and peace. The second treasure is frugality, which signifies simplicity, moderation, and a rejection of excess. Taoism teaches that living in alignment with the Tao involves following the natural order, which inherently promotes a simple and modest lifestyle. By embracing frugality, one avoids wastefulness and preserves resources, much like nature does. The third treasure is humility, expressed as not daring to be first in the world. This idea reflects the Taoist principle of avoiding the limelight and resisting the urge to assert dominance over others. Laozi warns against the dangers of pride and arrogance, emphasizing that those who lead by example do so not by placing themselves above others, but by stepping back and allowing others to flourish. In this way, humility is seen as a protective force, safeguarding the individual from unnecessary conflict and enabling them to live in accordance with the Tao. Together, these three treasures form the practical moral guidelines of Taoism. Compassion fosters connection and kindness, frugality ensures sustainability, and humility allows one to live without ego or the desire for power. In this way, the three treasures offer a roadmap for individuals seeking to live a life of balance, wisdom, and harmony with the natural world. With so much wealth and power at his disposal, do you think Xi Jinping's frugality is truly a personal choice or part of a broader political strategy? How does this approach impact his public image and China's future direction? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channels. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.